Hey, welcome to the channel. My name's Scott. I'm the creator of RC Terminator. Today it's all about shocks. We're gonna go through and rebuild a shock. I'll show you how I bleed all my air out of it and make a perfect shock. And I'm gonna use a 40 weight oil. So let's get right into it. Alright, here we go. Shock. Comes in a bunch of different sizes. This one's actually a front shock. It's a little bit shorter, running a white spring. It's a little stiff, not too bad. Remove that little butt cap that holds the spring on, spring retainer. Then you got just a plain shock in your hand. It's not too bad, but we're going to show you how to get that, doing that again. See how it drops like that? That's what you want. You don't want it to stay up. You don't want it where it stops and you can't push it no further. You want it to be able to bottom out and come back out just like that. That's what you want to see. That's a good shock. I'm doing this because the shock oil is old and dirty. We're going to see how dirty it is. Remove that top cap. You're going to see there's stuff inside there, so you want to be real careful and not lose anything. Little container. See how dirty this fluid is. Actually not that bad. It's pretty clean. But that's okay, we're going to still do new fluid. Today I'm using a 40 weight factory team associated. I collapsed the shock all the way down. Notice now it doesn't come back out. It'll come out if I pull it down, but once I push it in, it stays. There's no oil in there. You can see all the top stuff in there. Looks pretty neat. Little nut and stuff. Okay, here we go. See, I put the cap back on there to keep dirt and grime and stuff from falling in there at all times. And it doesn't leak out into my box or anything. There we go. Now, this is the way I do it. Everybody does it a little differently, but this is the way I found it's the easiest way to do it. I go about halfway down with the shock shaft. I go ahead and fill the shock up. And then what I do is I pull down on it. It'll suck that fluid down in the bottom. And that allows me to get rid of all the air. I just pull it down a little bit, the fluid will drop down, I'll fill it up again. I'll do this until it gets all the way full. I'm all the way down. Then I'll go very slowly, go back up. Not all the way, because you don't want to introduce air back into the system. You'll be doing all this all over again. Then I'll pull down. Do this 2 or 3 times. When you see no little bubbles, you know you're good. There's absolutely no bubbles in there. It's completely perfectly dry. Nice and oily. Just what you want. Reintroduce your top shock cap back on. Make sure your shaft is all the way down so you're not making a big mess. Tighten your top shock cap back on. Mine's nice and tight. Now, see how much better that works now? Watch this. Remember before? All the way up, let go. Now it goes all the way down. Before it always only going halfway. Now it's going full drop. That's what you want. There's zero air in that system. That's a perfect shock. Then you go back reversed. Go ahead and put your spring back on. I hold down on the spring so you can get your cap on and off very easily. And these are directional. As you see, there's a, trying to get my, where you guys can see real nicely. There is a lip on one side and a no lip on the other side. The side with the lip goes towards the spring. That's where the spring can ride at. So it rides nice and smooth. And that's a perfect shock. That shock will work beautifully for you. I mean, it's a little thick weather, thick oil for the weather. I mean, it's 50 degrees out today. I mean, other people are running real thin oil, vegetable oil thickness, and it's like real cold out and negatives, and it'll work. But that is how I redo my shock oils. Now that's how I rebuild shocks, change the oils and everything. Other people might do it a little bit differently, but that's the way I found it works the best for me. I never have drop oil in there. I do it with my 5th scale trucks, my 8th scales, my 10th. I mean, any oil filled shock that you have, it'll work perfectly. Piggyback shocks are the same way. I do piggyback shocks the same way and never have a problem. I mean, I was running a piggyback shock on my 5th scale Losi. Never had a problem with it. Ended up doing it that way, and beautiful job. You know, I found that there wasn't a whole lot of videos on how people change the shock oils in them. So I figured I'd do this video up for you guys. You know, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if this is something you guys are into. Hit the like button. Give me that big thumbs up if you like this video. And hey, we'll catch you on the next time. I'm gonna go outside and have some fun, because that's what we do here. And catch you guys next time.